One night, out of nowhere, a question suddenly crossed my mind. Is fate something that's already decided for us? I don't think it is. And if our fate isn't predetermined, then what is the single most important factor that determines whether someone succeeds? I thought about it over and over. I really racked my brain. And eventually, I came up with an answer that I could actually convince myself of. What drives a person to succeed is the deepest desire buried inside them. That deepest desire determines what kind of person you really are. So, I started looking back at my own life. My childhood and growing up experience was actually pretty ordinary, just like that of most kids. My life followed a very standard path. I went to elementary school, then middle school, and eventually stepped into a university classroom. For a long time, I thought society's pyramid worked the same way. We were simply filtered and sorted layer by layer until everyone ended up where they were supposed to be. But gradually, things started to seem a little strange. As the years went by, I noticed that some people who had been outstanding students at school graduated, found jobs based on what they had expected for themselves, and then gradually become unable to stand working in their chosen fields. So they left their industries and moved into other careers that were relatively less stressful. But then there were other people. They came from pretty ordinary backgrounds. And when they were in school, they were incredibly mischievous and constantly getting themselves into trouble. But then, unexpectedly, when I asked them, "What are you doing these days?" I found out that some of them had actually built pretty successful careers of their own. And then they were so-called rich kids. Some of them took over their parents' businesses, but they couldn't keep them going. Eventually, some sold the company while others ended up shutting their business down altogether. And then there were people with absolutely no special background or connections. They worked diligently during the day, and in their spare time, they pursued the things they loved. Some loved dancing, some loved writing, one loved traveling, and now those persons have actually become a fairly well-known writer, content creator, and a highly respected dance instructor in the industry. That got me thinking. In a society where economic freedom is increasing and traditional barriers are becoming less and less restrictive to a person's development, what actually determines the path we take? What determines whether we succeed? And what makes some people who seemed completely unremarkable when they were kids go on to accomplish things that seem far beyond what we thought they were capable of? I thought about it again and again, and I realized that maybe this is something that has never really changed throughout human history. It's a desire inside you. Of course, everyone has a different definition of happiness and success. Maybe you want a quiet, ordinary life. Maybe you want to fight hard and push yourself to the limit. Either way, as long as you eventually get what you truly want, your life is worth celebrating. But there is one thing I eventually came to understand. The filters and standards we go through at different stages of life are in a sense just different forms of selection. So don't let the standards of the moment fool you. What ultimately determines whether you can succeed and where you eventually end up is the combination of your abilities and your desires. It's the real you hidden deep inside. Maybe one day you will land a high-paying, high-pressure job, but if you're not an ambitious person at heart, sooner or later the pressure may force you to leave. Maybe you studied engineering or computer science and ended up working as a programmer, but what you truly love is writing. One day, you will probably start using your free time to create, simply because you are driven by that love. Maybe your job gives you a paycheck, but your real life is in your writing. I think for most people, when they look back on their years in school or even their first years in the working world, what do they regret the most? Maybe it's that nobody ever told them that one of the most important things in life is learning how to truly understand yourself. Who am I? What kind of personality do I have? What are my strengths and weaknesses? What am I actually good at? What kind of lifestyle do I want? And what kind of lifestyle do I absolutely not want? Almost nobody talks to you about these questions. Why? because the brutal pressure of education and society pushes us to copy so-called successful paths and follow a predetermined version of success. Haven't you noticed how books about the secrets of success are flying off the shelves? But we've completely overlooked something. Your inner drive is ultimately what determines where you end up. And these things matter more than anything. They determine what you're willing to fight for. They determine how much passion and sense of responsibility you bring to your work. They determine how long you're willing to keep going. And ultimately, they determine what kind of position in life actually feels right for you. In the end, they may even determine what gives your life meaning. The answer to these questions are complicated. You may not have the answers right away. And as you grow and move through life, your answers will keep changing. That's why we need to keep questioning ourselves. And after asking those questions, we have to reshape the thing we call me again and again. It takes a very long time, but in the process, you gradually come to understand yourself more clearly. And in the end, I think there's something else worth saying. Some things simply aren't as important as you think they are. When it comes to the choices we make in life, there will always be a window left open for those who are willing to work for what they want. And there will always be an exit for those who are determined to find an excuse to leave. But if you want to leave, you will have to pay the price that comes with that choice. That's why I believe the sooner you start understanding your own desires and the sooner you start understanding yourself, the better. You can spend one afternoon just sitting down and really thinking about what you want. What kind of person do you want to become? What do you like? What do you truly love? Because the sooner you understand yourself, the lower the cost of making an important decision. You can decide whether you should leave the path you're currently on or keep moving forward with conviction. And at the end of this story, I still want to ask you one question. Looking back at the road you've traveled so far, what is it that you desire most? Thanks for watching this video. I'm Yu. Follow me for more to level up your mind.